Good morning from the Airstream. So it's coming up on 9:30 a.m. and I've already been up for a couple hours working for several of my clients. So in a little while I'm going to be doing some work for Precision RV. They've got several new video Q&As up about solar for RVs. I've been working on Sundance 1 RV Resort this morning, and then I'm going to be working on some of my own projects as well. So right now, you're looking at what a normal day in the office is like here at the Airstream. So this is RLC Design headquarters. I can work from anywhere. So you probably have seen a little video filler of me sitting at the computer this morning and working on a client site. I've got one screen up here. I've got one screen that I actually turned off because it was throwing off the light balance for this video. So that machine, though, let me just go tap it. And so now the light might change a little bit here because I've got the bright screen behind me. And so right now, that screen behind me, the computer is working on a new 3D model from Watson Lake. So yesterday, Greg and I went out. I had planned a set of missions because I wanted to document the disc golf course that is over at Watson Lake. So they've updated the disc golf course. Not too long ago, they only had 9 baskets, so 9 holes. So they changed things around, put some new pads out there to make it 18 holes going to the same baskets. But in recent times, they have added new baskets throughout the disc golf course. So now there are a full 18 holes. And that covers over 40 acres. So that was the flight that we did yesterday. And running in the background right now are all the images that I shot with my Mavic Pro, which is a drone, to make a 3D model. So once the 3D model is done, the next part is I'm actually going to go back and fly all the holes. So we're going to fly from launch pad 1 to basket 1, launch pad 2 to basket 2, and so on, so that people can get a really good idea of what the play is like over at Watson Lake. So today is going to be mostly an inside day. We've got some pretty cool clouds going on outside, so I'll share some of that with you. And supposedly we're going to be getting rain today, which is huge because I think we just broke a record for most consecutive days without rain, fall, winter. So we're well over 100 days with no rain. The Airstream totally looks like there's been no rain. It's looking terrible. And so several birds have decided that they like sitting right up in the corner and using the front corner of the Airstream as a bathroom. So hopefully today that's all going to get washed off. And this is going to be mostly an indoor day for me, just working on the computers, working on client projects, and working on some of my own projects. Welcome to the top of Watson Lake Park in Prescott, Arizona. So in the previous segment, I set up my flight plan on my iPad with DJI's Ground Station Pro. So now we're out here today where the disc golf course is, and actually right behind the camera is one of the baskets, so I'll turn the camera around in a minute. I've got most of my drone gear just about set up. The flight plan is ready to go. So in a couple of minutes we're going to launch and we're going to start documenting nearly 40 acres. So we're going to do 2 passes today. We're going to see if we can get away with 2 passes. So we're going to do south to north, so the camera is going to be facing north the entire time with Ground Station Pro. And then I'm going to be doing east to west with the camera facing toward the west. So we'll skip the other 2 setups and see how well Pix4D does with only 2 passes. All right, before we disappear, let me move around and you can get a look at the gear out here. The DJI Mavic Pro, I've got the controller and a holder for my iPad mini. Let's just take a look right over here. So there is one of the disc golf baskets. This is one of the newly added baskets in the past year. So this is a full 18-hole course out here. So this should be a really interesting mapping project. We've got a gorgeous lake here, and we've got some amazing granite formations. So different day, different mock turtleneck. So not the same one as yesterday or the day before. last night we had some snow come through, and so we got rain and snow, which is awesome. Prescott's been dying for some precipitation, and we definitely got some good rainfall last night and a little bit of snow. And then my surprise, so right back there is the Airstream bedroom, of course. I got woken up last night by something thumping around under my bed. So underneath the Airstream last night, we had a guest for the evening. There is a local bobcat that's been hanging out in the park. We've actually seen it crossing the road here multiple times, and it's been hanging out down at Watson Lake as well. And what it's been doing down at Watson Lake is eating some of the ducks. So one of my friends in the upper loop, Bob, hangs out regularly down at Watson Lake Park, and he actually feeds the ducks. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but neither here nor there. Bottom line, Bob actually saw the bobcat come flying out a couple weeks ago, grab up one of the ducks, and take off with it. Well, this is a sizable bobcat, by the way. So when I was in this site years ago, I was in site number 9, and I had a regular bobcat hanging out here. I'd get up early in the mornings, I'd go outside, and the bobcat would be sitting up in the rocks. So it looks like the bobcat's still comfortable with folks and decided to move in under the Airstream last night. It's no longer there, and that's really good, because it actually shot me up in bed. It was thumping around so much on the underside of the Airstream. Really freaky. So I've talked a lot about storage and places to put things in the Airstream as a full-time RVer, and that you don't have much space. There's another kind of space that I wanted to say just a little something about. So space for your digital storage. So right now, connected to the Mac, I've got a 2 terabyte drive and a 4 terabyte drive. Let me move around here really quick. So underneath my workstation is also a Drobo, and I can't even remember how many terabytes that has, but it is absolutely full. So I got a call from one of my clients yesterday that I did some imaging work for years ago. They've got a chain of RV parks, and they're going to a show in the really near future. So I got a panicked call yesterday because the client lost track of all of the full-size images I gave them for their different parks. So fortunately, I keep all of my data stored over and over again. So I've got a couple more portable drives up in one of the shelves here. But so here is the 2015-2016 photo disk drive that is completely full, and a media drive for fun stuff, and then the 2014 photo drive, the 2013 photo drive, 2012, I think you're getting the idea, 2011, and so on. So when I got the call from the client, they were in luck because I didn't delete all of their stuff and I actually keep it, which becomes a pain after a while because, once again, storage space in the Airstream. So got this great little Rubbermaid style box, and it is the keeper of a lot of data. So years ago, when I first started doing photography work, I actually had a drive fail on me, and I lost some favorite personal images. It wasn't client work, it was strictly all of Rich's photography for a big chunk of a year, and I didn't have backups of backups of backups, and honestly, I know better than that. Working in telecom for quite some time, we had a lot of redundancies built in, so we had backups of our switching software and backups of the backups and on-site copies and off-site copies. Here we are in a 25-foot Airstream, and fortunately all the portable drives have gotten really small. Still, I'm carrying around a lot of portable drives, but it worked out especially for the client who got in touch yesterday, because first thing I did this morning was I went and found all of the old images shot over the years for them and picked out a couple for their brochure and sent them on this morning. They got them and they were super happy. So there you go. There's another kind of storage at the Airstream. I'm going to get back to work here in just a second. It's melting off outside right now, so there is snow on the Airstream roof, bobcat under the Airstream, and a lot of wet muck outside. So it's good to have an indoor day. And for the rest of this week, I'm going to be doing some more drone work on our disc golf course that we've been working on. And we're also sending out some information this week to a couple of potential new clients. So there's life in an Airstream, and there's working full-time in an Airstream. So, all right, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed this this quick addition to this week's video. We're going to be trying to do one of these videos a week, and I'll be mixing it up. It won't just be sitting in here. There will be more drone flight, more going into town, more hanging out in the Granite Dells, and I don't know, maybe we need to set up a camera to catch the bobcat in the act tonight.